evening again, weebs, and welcome to an especially raunchy episode tonight. Right? My name's Liam, and joining me is...
Leah. Reality's tough. Wear a cup, bitch.
Whoa. I forgot about that one.
We'll
Good
get
job
into
picking
it.
a quote. I don't have a quote this week, but that's okay. So my theme this week, I guess, was ecchi / comedy and / animes with like very strange animation styles that kind of jumped all over the place.
You succeeded on all of those, Liam.
Yeah. They fit together better than I thought they would.
Yeah, actually. I was like, there's so many panties everywhere.
Yeah.
In both shows.
The good anime this week was... Actually, before we do that, I was mentioning earlier, I did watch the third episode of Another.
Yes.
And it was like... I think it still made me want to keep going a bit. I haven't kept going yet, but like the third episode was decently spicy and exciting.
Okay, that's good, because I definitely want to check that one out again.
I would at least try out the third episode if I were you.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I tried out the fourth episode of Go Sick, and it's not that it was bad, but nothing like happened to like intrigue me more. Like
Did they
does
just
seem...
Did they just start on like another episode or mystery of the week?
Yeah, exactly. And it wasn't one that I found like particularly like as like enveloping as the first one was, like with the the whole murder ship, whatever. I don't even quite remember what it was. In all fairness, I wasn't paying 100% attention because I was also like sorting through some stuff in my room. But still, I was like not invested. So I don't know. It might be something I could like come back and try in the future, and if I'm in like a different mood. But I think I'd rather spend some time checking out Another.
Sounds like a plan. So, back to the raunchiness and panties of this week. The good anime I picked is one that's been on both our lists for a while, and that's Panty and Stocking with Garterbelt. And the bad anime is called Colourful, and it's not the anime movie Colourful, which I hear about.
Which is spelled with a U.
Which I hear about a lot, which is Colourful spelled with a U, but this show we watched, which I'd never heard of before, is Colourful spelled the American way without a U. So let's talk about Panty and Stocking first, because it was great. So here's the synopsis. Amazing. The Anarchy sisters, Panty and Stocking, have been kicked out of heaven for, to put it mildly, misbehaving. Led by a priest named Garterbelt, these angels must buy their way back to exterminating ghosts in Dayton City. But this task requires unconventional weapons for these unorthodox angels. They transform their lingerie into weapons to dispatch the spirits. Unfortunately, neither of them take their duties seriously, as they rather spend their time in pursuit of other hobbies. Panty prefers to sleep with anything that walks, and Stocking favors stuffing her face with sweets rather than hunting ghosts. Follow these two unruly angels as they battle ghosts, an overflow of bodily fluids, and their own tendency to get sidetracked in Panty and Stocking with Garterbelt. There's way more bodily fluids than I was expecting. Like, I was expecting some, but...
No, and they get graphic and into it.
Yeah, I mean, the first episode was just like, fight the giant poop monster.
Yeah. She's just covered in shit like 5 minutes in. I'm like, yes. What were your initial thoughts, though? Just like overall.
Well, I'd heard a decent amount about this before, and like some people, like Mackenzie, had shown it to me, or like talked about it a lot. And I'd heard Digiro talk about it a little bit, specifically how like the animation style kind of like changes from like chibi to like almost Cartoon Network-y to like
that's what I was gonna say.
Very
I got
detailed suddenly.
Major Powerpuff Girls and like Invader Zim vibes like blended together. Also, their creature named Chuck is literally like Gurr from Invader Zim.
Yeah, from Invader Zim.
Yeah, like that has to be a call to it because he's got the same colors, a zipper. Like
I'm pretty sure that's probably intentional because I think a lot of it is them like either like tributing or making fun of like American things, like especially the shots with like the police officers and the car chase when like all the police officers are just like firing so many guns. I think it's definitely like they're poking fun of a lot of American media stuff. Some of it's like a little problematic, but most of it's pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Gur from Invader Zim for sure, Powerpuff Girls for sure. But yeah, really raunchy. Like the it's been a while since I've read subtitles that raunchy.
I know,
and then I did watch.
Actually, ended up watching the 3rd episode in English because I was curious. I was like, okay, is this actually the translation or is this just whoever subbed it? You know, because like I obviously don't speak Japanese. But you don't often hear it in like a vulgar way, and it's not necessarily that they have exact words that are vulgar, but it's more like the way they say things, correct?
Yeah. It's
so
their swearing's definitely like different.
Yeah, so I was just kind of interested to see. So I watched the 3rd episode in English, and oh no, it's pretty direct and it's hilarious. Actually, the dub was pretty good.
Yeah, I watched the 2nd episode in dub, just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I didn't mind it actually, but I think it's just because it seems more like a cartoon in nature than anime. That I think that's maybe why it didn't like bug me at all. So, and it was still like just as fun, but yeah, that was actually honestly my initial thought. Really, just was that it was weird to see, or I was curious to see what a show like this would be like from Japan, because you don't really ever see, at least not here in North America anyway, we don't always see the raunchy, funny, cartoony shit, right? So
yeah,
I was kind of like, I wonder if this is like an unorthodox show over there, or if there's lots of stuff like this and I just don't know about it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess to go over the plot quickly, each episode is split into like 2 mini episodes. So the first episode's like the poop monster and was it the second part, the car chase? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the second episode was like the high school queen bee ghost thing.
Yeah.
And like they're like then there's like a celebrity scandal with like them being movie stars and Panty like releasing a sex tape. They don't really fight a ghost in that one.
No.
And then the 3rd episode was like one about like them having an argument as siblings, and then of course the infamous semen episode, which I'd definitely like seen parts of that before that because people had showed me.
Yeah, I'd actually seen that. I recognized that, and I was like, I always wondered where this was from. Like, now I know.
Yeah. I think my favorite out of all of them was probably the car chase one. I think that one was pretty funny.
That one was really funny.
I think it was because like the voice of the ghost that kept possessing cars, like every time he got in a new vehicle he kept going faster, and he just like got so excited. He's like sugoi, and but like a really high pitched voice, and I just thought that was hilarious.
A lot of it was really funny. Like, I've kind of said this on the podcast before, I don't always like laugh out loud. Like, I'll think it's funny, but I won't actually laugh. But this show made me laugh like a couple times for sure. I don't know. I'm such a pervert. I really enjoyed the sex tape episode one because they're just so like, and also the in the 3rd episode, I can't remember if it's the 1st or 2nd story, when they're having their sisterly fight, just some of the things they were saying to each other, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do actually have some quotes here. I could read a few then, so people can
throw
maybe get
some
an
quotes.
idea.
Or before you do that, I want to mention each time they like defeat a ghost, it cuts to like an animated background, but a live action shot of like a arts and crafts version of the villain, and they just like have a live action shot of it exploding, which is pretty hilarious. And what was so funny about that chase episode was like when he blows up, he's like, arigato, and like because he's like happy that he just went really fast and then died, and that was when I laughed out loud.
Like mainly in the 1st episode when they're running around and stuff, and then because they're like fighting, things would happen to like the citizens of their city, but it'd be like good things. Like, and then they make the little angel sound, like when that woman got knocked over so the guy could like see her underwear.
Oh, right.
Just stuff like that. I don't know. I enjoyed it. Yeah, listeners,
Sorry,
just so you
quotes.
can get a taste, I'll just read like one or two here. Garter, if you're going to act like a baby, you may as well crawl back into your giant vagina where you belong. That's one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wonder if these are like
one I said
quotes from
earlier
the dub or...
are you starting to get it? Freedom of choice is just a fantasy, whether you're an angel or a normal hoe bag. Reality's tough. Wear a cup, bitch. It's good. And how dare you Rentanker is whore.
Yeah. I like how the two sisters are like very different. Like Stocking is like totally goth and emo, and her room is like got a lot of like, spiderweb decor and stuff, and all she cares about is like eating cake and pudding and sweets.
Yeah.
Whereas Panty has like a very messy room and like dresses, like she's going out to the club. Well, I guess they're going for like that skanky look, and like she's just like getting laid all the time. And it's just funny how they're like two very different.
Yeah, I didn't expect them to actually take the like sex so literally. Like when you first read me the description of the show, I was like, how, like, she sleeps with anything that moves. I was like, how are they gonna handle that? Like, are they just gonna imply it? And it's like, nope, they're just gonna go with it.
Yep.
So I enjoyed that a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely a fun experience. I'm gonna
also I liked the soundtrack a lot.
Yes. Very good. Yeah, good soundtrack, and like even the sound effects as well were all just timed very well. It's just done well.
Yeah, I like, especially like in the first episode when you see their first like transformation sequence, like the animation gets suddenly like very detailed, and they're suddenly like drawn like more realistically, and they're like kind of doing this pole dance thing. They take off their like stocking and
had a pole.
and they take off their like stocking and panties and turn them into the panties turn into a gun, and the stocking turns into a katana. And I was kind of bummed out that in the first 3 episodes I only saw that sequence once. I kind of wanted to see it again, especially in the 3rd episode, because in the 3rd episode she like the song plays from that transformation sequence, but they don't have the same one, and I was really bummed out. I'm like, I wanted to see that cool one again, so
yeah, it was really cool.
Guess you can always watch it on YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, because then I think you only really see Panty briefly when that guy's checking her out, looking kind of like her realistic self. Oh, I really did enjoy the like Queen Bee with all the football players. Like, just if you actually, like, again, the detail in this show, if you actually pay attention to just the drawing and what's going on in the background, like a lot of it's really quite funny, like the facial expressions and all those kinds of things. So I appreciate that, because you could do something like what was it other one you had? I think it was Veda and I watch, and it had the little baby. Oh,
baby.
No, well, it looked like it had like a sugar in its mouth or something. Oh, I'll have to check. It was another like cartoony one. Anyway, if I remember,
was it a good anime or a bad anime?
I think it was a bad one. Because the point I was trying to make is, even though this show is, of the cartoony and like comedy, it can still be done well. Like, there's still a way to do it bad and a way to do it well. I'm trying to remember what that one was. But, yeah.
So, do you think you're gonna watch any more?
Oh, yes. Definitely.
I don't think it's a show I would binge, but I'm not sure.
No, it's definitely something like put on from time to time just to like have a laugh, or if you need something in the background or whatever, that's what it is to me. No, it's not something you binge, like, because even after one episode, because they have the 2 little arcs, like, even that, like, satisfied me. Like, I pretty much watched the one separately and then 2 in a row, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then there's 13 episodes, so that's not too bad.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say, though, like, you definitely don't want to watch this show in public, and you want to wear headphones when you're watching it.
Yeah. At least if you're watching the dub, yeah. And I found that anime I was talking about was the Super Milk-chan.
Oh, fuck it. I hated Super Milk-chan.
Yeah, exactly.
That was so annoying.
That's kind of my point between, good and bad. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say... sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, we'll see. I'll eventually finish this one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna finish it in the sub. Is what I wanted to say, because I did like the dub was pretty good, but I really enjoyed hearing like the raunchy Japanese.
Yeah,
especially
you can
coming from like girl voice actors. It's just it's very entertaining.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally agree. Yeah, for me, I think it'll just depend what I'm doing. Like, if I'm not in the mood to read, then the dub's good enough. But otherwise, yeah, the sub's really good. Yeah, I enjoy it. Definitely.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's move on to the bad anime called Colourful, which I have a lot of mixed feelings about.
Yeah.
It's definitely bad, but I wasn't expecting to laugh at the couple of moments I did, I guess.
Yeah. To me, my initial impression, it's one of those, like, kind of skit shows that it's like, it's awful,
yeah,
but
it's
you're
definitely
enjoying
like
it at the same time.
Sketch comedy. Anyways, I'll read the description. So, the adventures and misadventures of men staring, peeking, glancing, looking, and glaring at women, and their efforts to get that extra eyeful of harmlessly exposed panties, bras, and occasional cleavage. Following at most a few regular males and the outrageous consequences of their actions. So yeah, there isn't much plot in this show to talk about. It's basically like your stereotypical fan servicey moments, but it's kind of done up in like your absurd sketch comedy show.
Mm-hmm.
Like the transitions between the like scenes are very like cut together rapidly and like not very good, like haphazardly drawn. Mm-hmm. And it's very like frantic and all over the place, and the animation is like very messy, kind of on purpose, I guess.
Yeah, I will say that I did get the vibe that it was like a stylistic choice to an extent, for sure. And yeah, the episodes are only 7 minutes long, I believe.
Yeah, so I watched 4. I'm assuming you did too.
I actually only got to watch 3 because my computer was being a dick while I was trying to finish up.
Okay.
Well. Oh my god, Panty and Stocking.
Yeah, well, you didn't miss much. It's more of the same.
Yeah, I kind of figured that as well.
So it was
gosh, I'm so brain dead today.
It was just like a lot of stuff like let me think of some of the skits are pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like, or at least like chuckle worthy of like a female news reporter being like, oh, there's been like a mysterious like a lot of recurring incidents at this pole in Shibuya, or like people walk into it and start bleeding from the forehead and pass out, but no one will admit to why. And of course it's like because the guy's like trying to see a shot of cleavage or something.
Yeah, I think it's by like a school, so they can see up all the skirts and stuff, and they walk into the pole. No,
yeah, everyone keeps walking into the same pole.
I had a pretty good laugh at that, actually. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I think what made me laugh was just like because the guys are acting like pretty quiet and normal, and then as soon as they'll see like the tiny bit little flash of panties maybe, and then like the animation gets more detailed with their reaction, just like
yeah,
like that was kind of funny.
Eyes closing, yeah.
But then like some of the show was coming across as like a little like problematic and racy. Like the guy, he was like passed out with his friends at that heated table. What are those called? Kotatsu. Yeah, him and his friends are all passed out around the kotatsu, and then like he's like peeking under it to like see up the girl's skirt, and like
Yeah.
she keeps like moving her legs in his sleep, and like he's getting beat up accidentally, which is funny, but the whole like premise behind the scene is just, you feel like kind of gross watching
I
it.
agree. Yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable.
Same with like the,
kind of slimy.
the thing on the train, like the like there's one guy trying to like look up a girl's skirt on the train,
Mhm.
and then like a guy stands in front of it and blocks his view, and then the guy in his head is like, huh, foolish boy, everyone knows the good views in the summer are like down from the top, so he's like trying to look down her shirt instead. And it's just like, I don't want to get all like politically correct or anything, but it's like definitely that stuff would be pretty like triggering if the show came out now. The show came out in 1999.
Really?
So, yeah, it felt
It didn't
a
seem
little
that old to me. But I guess
felt a
that's
little
also the
gross
perks of
watching it.
being stylistically a little messy.
the funny parts were like the more innocent, like accidental panty flashes, I guess.
The more harmless ones, and just how like the guys react. Honestly, I watched one yesterday and then a couple today, and I completely forgot the description of the show. Like, I didn't even bother looking it up. I did not remember what it was going to be about. So I'm just like watching it, and I'm just like, what? I was like, what is this? It's like no dialogue, and it's just a bunch of like pervy guys checking out women any way they can, and yeah, I don't know. It's exactly what the description says.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And yeah, it did have its like some like fun moments, and then yeah, there are other ones where I'm kind of like, little too pervy here, hitting the mark a little too well.
Yeah, no, I guess it's probably one of those shows that was broadcast like really late at night.
Yeah.
And it was definitely like going towards its specific target audience.
Yeah,
so,
or like one of those
like,
shows where it's like 1 a.m, and they just throw in that 7-minute episode to fill a gap somewhere and then keep going.
Yeah, it's definitely like what I expected, because like I had to dig a little bit to find this show, or like kind of I was digging around and then I came across it. I'm like, oh, this looks like good proper trash to pick for the bad anime. Why not? And turns out it was. But it wasn't like just like absolutely unwatchable garbage. It like was interesting enough to talk about, I guess. I mean, I'm not gonna watch anymore.
No, but it's very much an anime where, like, it is what it is. You're getting exactly what you expected and wanted to get. And especially when it's a short episode, that's usually a sign that it is something more like sketch comedy. Like even Panty and Stocking. Like, I know they put 2 in 1 episode, but still, you know. So for a show like Colourful, like, yeah, obviously I would rate it, I guess, technically bad as well if you're really going to analyze it as an anime. But at the same time, it's pretty much exactly what they promised you. So I guess if you fit in that niche, then it's good. But
yeah, I almost wish it was sorry, I kind of lost what I was gonna say again. It's a great episode tonight, everybody.
We're on the ball. The panties were distracting, okay?
Yeah, I know the panties in Panty and Stocking were better though.
Oh yes,
just like that was just like very enjoyable raunch.
Yes. Yeah,
I guess
that.
Yeah, the Colourful almost made me think of like some sort of like web series that was like made DIY by some guy and a couple friends and like Flash, possibly. I mean, it was slightly better than that.
Yeah, I would say it's a little bit better, but yeah.
I did enjoy the moments of like people, like moments in Colourful where they would speak English, like the Japanese voice actors would speak English, especially like the class that was like the English class, where the English tutor was like trying to teach them how to say L and R, and there's like really gratuitous shots of like the lips and the tongue going like L R.
At first, I thought it was kind of funny because, again, it's like these 2 teenage boys just getting like really turned on by their like again, English-speaking blonde. We see what you're doing there, Japan. But then it just kind of gets awkward. I feel like it went a little too far when they start like making her do it over and over again really fast and just like zoom in on her mouth. I'm like,
yeah, they're going pretty hard on that.
Yeah.
There was also like a couple scenes, or I don't remember if this was from this one or Panty and Stocking, but there's a couple scenes where they just be saying a sentence of fast Japanese and then like at the very end be like no problem and just like say really bad English suddenly, and that was pretty entertaining. So
which one was that? Oh my god,
I feel like it might have happened in both, honestly. Like,
yeah, who knows? Yeah, because there was definitely some English thrown into Panty and Stocking as well, but I think that's also due to the fact that the words only exist in English. For a lot of them.
For sure.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they were...
Yeah, anything else to say about Colourful?
Not really. I mean, it's like 7 minutes long. If someone wants to go look at it, sure. But I mean, really, like, if you're going to watch something gratuitous, I'd at least pick something better, you know?
Yeah, right? Like Panty and Stocking.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But good picks, though. They were both very relevant to each other.
Yeah, I was surprised at how well they, like, fit well together as, like, a bad and a good, so...
You nailed it. You're getting good at this.
Go me. Look at me go.
Hey, Leah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I got nothing else to say.
So I guess on that note, let's put the raunchiness aside and talk about what's going to happen for the next episode. Next week will be a special guest episode, so stay tuned for that spicy surprise. Mm-hmm. I'll hint that it involves some robot action, so that's cool. But we're still going to hear Leah's picks for the next regular episode, which will be a week after that.
Yes.
So lay them on us.
Okay. So the theme is kind of like, I don't know, like games, fantasy. It'll make more sense when I kind of describe them, but...
like isekai? Like Log Horizon and stuff?
No, more like card games and like...
Oh, okay. Oh, like casino games.
Yeah. So to disclaim, because it's me and I'm always awful at picking a good and a bad anime that's actually good or bad. These ones are actually pretty close in rating. And I'll explain why I made which one bad and which one good. So the good one is Carnival. So I'll read the description here for you. All right. While in search of his precious friend, a young boy named Nai falls captive to a beautiful woman whose looks are matched only by her taste for human flesh. Meanwhile, Gareki, a clever thief, in the midst of robbing her luxurious home. That was an awful sentence. After causing a distraction, Gareki agrees to help Nai escape, but they are discovered upon the woman's return. As she transforms into a ghoulish monster, the boys flee. On the run, Nai and Gareki are found by a circus, a government defense agency that deals with a criminal activity too difficult for the police to handle and protects civilians from Baruga, terrible monsters that devour humans for sustenance. In hope that it will lead Nai to his missing friend, he and Gareki decide to join the circus. On their perilous journey, they face dangerous Baruga and begin to uncover the secrets behind a shadowy organization known as Kafka. So this one, this one has a 7.33 on Mal. And then the next one is Pandora Hearts. This one actually has a 7.89, but they both have a lot of mixed opinions, and their ratings are almost the same, yet Pandora Hearts has twice as many reviews, and it's still lower. So, we'll see. I like my mixed reviews animes, okay? I like to see what
that's interesting.
Okay, so to young Oz Vasilius, heir to the Vasilius Duke house, the perilous world called the Abyss is nothing more than a folktale used to scare misbehaving children. However, when Oz's coming-of-age ceremony is interrupted by the malicious Baskerville clan, intent on banishing him into the depths of the Abyss, the Vasilius heir realizes that his peaceful life of luxury is at its end. Now he must confront the world of the abyss and its dwellers, the monstrous chains, which are both not quite as fake as he once believed. Based on the supernatural fantasy manga of the same name, Pandora Hearts tells the story of 15-year-old Oz's journey to discover the meaning behind the strange events that have overtaken his life. Assisted by a mysterious chain named Alice, whose nickname is Bloodstained Black Rabbit, a member of this clandestine organization known as Pandora. Oz begins to realize his existence may have more meaning than he could have ever imagined. Ooh. Yeah. So we shall see.
Well, I think it's good to pick those mixed ones, because we could have another slash Gossick situation where it's a surprise.
Exactly. Yeah, things could turn out different. So, yeah, I guess we'll find out in a couple weeks.
Okay, I'm gonna remember to do the social media plug this time.
Yay.
You can like our page on Facebook. We have a YouTube page that will maybe have another video on it by August.
Someday.
And you can join or friend us on My Anime List if you use that Weeb Haven, which is pretty fun. And yeah, please check us out there, and thanks for listening as always. You're the best.
Love you. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Good night.